Some new things and some very pretty things. Good morning, everybody. It's Stephen here for Bland Designs, and if it's Monday, it must be time for my weekly vlog. And this is vlog number 17 on Monday, May the 8th, 2017, and I hope you all had a good weekend. I had a very busy weekend. Let me just adjust this a little bit so you see less of the ceiling and a little bit more of me. That's good. So I've got my coffee here and some things to talk about. So let's jump right in with my current projects. Well, I did some art journaling pages. I went to a crop on Saturday at Class Act. It was a theme crop, Lady and the Tramp, and I do have a video of that as well. That's on the Class Act channel. That's my second channel. I do it for my local scrapbooking store because I sort of work behind the scenes for them, doing some little projects and things like that every now and then, and that's where I teach my classes. So you can check out that video by just doing a search in the YouTube search bar for Class Act Oshawa. Oshawa spelled O-S-H-A-W-A. Those are for my American friends who may not be familiar with the area. So you check that out and you'll see the kind of day that we had. So while I was there, a crop is usually for scrapbooking, but I brought my art journaling stuff because I was teaching an art journaling class the next day, and I just brought everything that I was going to need for the next day to the store and decided to work on my own art journal pages. And I did. So I'll show you what I created that particular day. Now this was based on the Mission Inspiration challenge that's put out every month by Mike Deacon, and you've heard me talk about that before, but I kind of deviated from the prompts as I got going. So this is what I created, this 2-page spread. It's got sort of a retro look to it. I found those two pictures in some old art catalog that I was cutting up for art journaling pages, and I really liked them, and so I developed the pages around that. I deviated from the color scheme that was in Mike's challenge for this month, and I used most of the elements he had in it, but I kind of like how this page turned out. So I'm going to post that up on the Mission Inspiration page. During my class, the next day, I started working in my new journal, and this is the Delusions art journal, and it has a variety of different types of papers. It has canvas, it has burlap, it has linen-y sort of textured paper, and so now don't laugh. I'm not completely happy with this page, but I think I can fix it. So here it is, and I know that yellow, reddy, blue, orange thing in there, I'll bring it up closer. It's kind of hard to see what that is, but that is actually a bird. And what I used was a paper die cut from a new Tim Holtz die, which I'm going to show you in a few minutes. And I used some texture paste, and I tried to get that to work for me. And it didn't, because I didn't think about the die cut is sort of a positive image, and this is a negative image. So it looks like a blob, but I have an idea as to how to fix it. And I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Anyways, that's what art journaling is all about. It's experimentation. Some days it works, some days it doesn't work. You don't need to get all uptight about it. That's what I tell my students in my class. Just let yourself go. That's the fun. That's the freedom of art journaling. And if you're somebody who's been afraid to try art journaling, don't be. If you're a very organized and structured person and have to have a plan, you will have to break away from that idea. I know how that feels. I'm exactly like one of those people. I'm very organized, I'm very structured, I'm very routine bound, and when I started art journaling, I thought, I can't do this, I can't let things just go, I just can't let things happen. I have learned, and in so doing, I have found that very relaxing. You do it for yourself, you do it for fun, you really don't have a plan in mind. If it works out at the end, and it usually does work out, believe me, it usually does work out, you're really thrilled with it. And it's just fun. So once you break away from being a type A personality and just let the art flow. You can do it, and you'll enjoy it. Okay, end of lecture for today. Well, maybe not. There may be another one coming up. Okay, so what else do I want to show you? Oh yeah, I've been doing some more acrylic pourings. Now I showed you this one last week, I believe, that I had done. This is the one where I mixed in some of that crackle gel and it didn't really take, it didn't really work, but I still like the piece. So I said I was going to try some of those Prismi, the Peebo Prismi paints that all go into cells and things like that on top, and I did, and that's what this orange floppy thing is on the back. There goes my email. And I'll bring it up a little closer for you, and so you can see there are some cells and things. It didn't really do as much as on the little fragment pieces that I've shown you before, but this little piece I had sitting around in my embellishment box. This one came off of a journal that when I was doing my cleanup, I had this sort of a leather-bound journal. I bought it in England on one of my trips. I thought it was really cool, but it was really cheap paper inside it. So cheap, as soon as you wrote on it, it went through to the next sheet, and it just tore and crumbled and whatnot. So I stopped using it. I liked the binding on it, the cover, but the cover, I don't know, it was a really inferior kind of, if it was leather at all. It looked neat, but it was disintegrating. So, you know, the only thing worth saving from it was this little thing that was on the front of it, this butterfly. And it's made out of some kind of metal, and I liked it. So I glued it to this little card piece here, and that's another finished little artwork with a mixed media piece. Okay, I did another pour just the other day. Again, always looking for those elusive cells. I'm not getting a lot of them, but I think I know why. I saw a video by Anne-Marie Rederhoff that I've mentioned before, and she's got a 100% guarantee how you're going to get cells. So I'm going to try her 100% guarantee and see what I get. But I do like this piece. I'm really not sure which way to show it. Maybe this way's good. Could be this way. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. I don't know if I'm just going to leave it as it is, or I'm going to maybe mount some other mixed media things on top of it. I like the idea of mixing up the pouring acrylics pieces with mixed media pieces. So anyways, I think that turned out pretty nice. A little bit of a glare on it because I did something different with the varnish this time. Instead of brushing on the varnish, I poured it on, just like I would if I was doing the poured acrylic itself, and just tilted it back and forth until it ran all over it, and I put 2 coats on. And you know, you might be using a little bit more varnish, but you don't get any paint strokes in it, and you get this very nice, smooth surface to it. So I might do it that way from here on in on my other pieces. Okay, so that's what I've been working on. And now it's time for YouTube channel of the week, so watch this. Okay, so this week's YouTube channel is joggles.com. That's spelled JOGGLESDOTCOM. This YouTube channel's been around for quite a while, and it's paired up with the owner's website, which is a store. She gives a lot of really good tips and tricks on using a variety of products in mixed media, scrapbooking, card making, etc. And she does some comparisons of products as well. I find her videos very professional in the way that they're done, and she is very reliable when it comes to giving you a very honest opinion about the products that she is demonstrating. I've never ordered anything from her website. Mainly because I believe it's based in the United States, and so for me in Canada it makes things a little bit more expensive. But she looks like she has a great variety of stock on hand, and her prices don't look too bad at all. So that's joggles.com. Spell it all out when you go to the YouTube channel, and joggles.com as in period com to go to the website, and I think you'll find it very, very useful. Okay, so that's a really great YouTube channel and a website, so I suggest you check it out. As I said, her videos are very professional. Okay, so what's pissing me off this week? Well, this one's kind of a more of a business technical kind of rant here. I'm calling them a rant because I think that's what people think they are. I guess they are rants. Anyways, what I want to talk about is YouTube and how they are pissing off a whole lot of other people. Personally, they're not pissing me off, okay? And I'll tell you why. You know you can make money on YouTube. If you notice on mine, there are some ads that pop up. And any YouTubes you watch on a regular basis, you're going to see an ad. And you can, after about 5 seconds or so into it, usually you can click on it and skip over it. But this is what YouTube does. YouTube allows advertisers to place ads onto your YouTube videos. And in return for doing that, we call it monetization, you get a few cents for every time someone watches one of your videos or whatever. Now, to date, I have not made armfuls of money, okay? Up to this point in time, I have made $200 in 3 years, okay? So really, not talking big money here. Now, mind you, they pay me every time I hit $100 in my account. And there's things you fill out and it goes automatically into your bank account. Now, I'm just about ready to make my third $100 here, okay? Now, each time, though, the time between each payout has been less and less because I've gotten more and more viewers. Thank you. But my livelihood does not depend upon that. In fact, the reason I do it is I look at it as a little bit of a bonus. It's not enough to finance making these videos. And you hear people talking about all the time about needing lots of money to make their videos. Okay, if some of those people are using very professional equipment, editing process, the whole bit, involving other people, I don't know. Yeah, maybe those cost a lot of money, and that's what they use the money for. I don't. So I don't care about the money. I do it just out of curiosity to see how much I can make. It's sort of a way of statistically looking at, you know, my popularity of my videos. That's the only reason I do it. So it's not harming me in one way or the other with what YouTube's doing right now. Apparently there was an article in a Wall Street Journal that said that advertisers, major advertisers like Walmart, Pepsi, Coke, those kind of ones, were being associated with questionable video content like hate propaganda, pornography, although YouTube has quite a serious hold on what you can put up and what you can't put up when it comes to sexual content, that kind of thing. And these advertisers were getting ticked off with this, so they've pulled their support away from YouTube, which costs YouTube money, of course. And in turn, they've put new guidelines in and new algorithms into the programming that have limited or cut out advertising for some content creators. This has caused a lot of controversy because a lot of these content creators are doing this as a business. I mean, they're making thousands of dollars a week. Here I am making pennies a week, basically. But these are people that have viewerships like in the millions. They put up one video and within a day they'll have over 100,000 views or more, this kind of thing. So I suppose, yeah, I can see why they're a little upset. However, there's an awful lot of content on YouTube that is basically money driven. People trying to make money by creating videos that they think will appeal to a vast majority of the viewing population, and they're not necessarily making videos that are adding to our education, giving us information about things. They're putting actually very stupid things up there because obviously a lot of people like to watch very stupid things, and these are the ones that go viral, and they make lots of money. So in some ways, the new restrictions that YouTube is putting on and talking about putting on are a good thing. They might increase the quality of the videos. You know, all I can say is, if you're somebody who is trying to make a living making videos on YouTube, you might want to have a second job. Because to make really good videos takes a lot of investment in very good equipment, a lot of planning, a lot of writing. Obviously, I don't do any of these things. And a lot of time, yes. But if you're just putting them up and you're spending all that time making crap that appeals to the, I don't know how you'd put it, appeals to people's darker side, that kind of thing, then yeah, good for you, YouTube. Make people stand up to the plate and put up stuff that is worthwhile for people to watch. Anyways, that's my rant this week. And also, I made that extra vlog last week just to explain a couple of my videos, last week's vlog and crap video number 10. I got kind of carried away with trying to bring in more subscribers. This is the reason for this, why I'm pissed off this week. I got caught up in the idea of, some tips and tricks I saw on how to bring in more viewers, and one of those was to put a subscribe button at the end and to put a link that would take the viewer right off to another of your videos. Yeah, those aren't bad ideas. And I had said in one of my previous vlogs, I will not beg for viewership. If you want to watch me, you can watch me. If you don't like me, don't follow me, whatever. But I thought I'd give this a go, and yeah, it was dumb. I wasn't doing it right, and to be honest, I'm not spending my whole time in trying to gear that up. I did find one thing though, and you'll see it near the end of all my videos now, a little subscribe button. I might say at the end of some of my videos, although I'm loath to, but I say, if you like me and you want to follow me, push the button that appears down here. Okay, you've seen me do it. So, anyways, that's what started my whole thinking about this, and then I saw these videos about the controversy with YouTube. Okay, maybe not as exciting of a pissed off thing for you this week as, me ranting about people in the express line at the grocery store, but that was what was on my mind this week. Let's move on. Okay. Technique tip of the week or product review. It's really not it's kind of a halfway between both of them. It's neither a product nor is it a technique tip. But I have something, and this is not a new idea to me for sure. Lots and lots of videos on how to make a junk journal. And essentially a junk journal is where you take all your scraps and you can take junk mail and the whole bit, bind it together in a little book, and you've got a journal. And I made one of these quite a while ago, and I did one page in it back then, and sort of forgot all about it. And I just added some old pictures in here. Then I got thinking about all of the leftovers that I have in embellishments and what I could do with them. So I thought, what about the junk journal? Just for fun, just slap them down. There's no rhyme or reason to this. It's sort of like art journaling, but using up garbage. So here's another page. These were just leftover things I had sitting around. I thought, what the heck, I'll glue them all in. Actually, I found it a lot of fun, because it's just like art journaling. Here's another page I've started on. I haven't done anything more with, but I was actually working on this at the Crop the other day, and this was some stuff from my stash of elements for art journaling. And I was kind of getting into it. Well, as I was working on this, and this I said is not done, it's just junk, a lady at the Crop came up to me and said, "What is that?" And I explained to her, it's a junk journal. And she said, "Are you going to do a class on this?" Well, then that got me thinking. I just assumed everybody knew what a junk journal was because there's so many videos on YouTube about it. It's not a new idea. And I thought, well, maybe I'll survey my art journal class people the next day and find out if any of them are interested in this. So I showed this to them, and they all said, yeah, they want to do this. So in October, I'm giving a class on how to make a junk journal. And I told everybody, from here on in, save all of your scraps and save your junk mail, because that's what we're going to be making it out of. So I may do a video about that. Like I said, there's tons of them out there. It's not very difficult. You fold the paper up, make it into a book, stitch it, whatever, bind it, bang, done, easy. But people want a class, so we're going to do a class. And maybe I'll throw a few extra little background techniques or things into it as well for them, so that, it makes it enjoyable. So, what's next? Okay, some new things that I got. I've had these on order for a long time. They were new this year at CHA. And first of all, they're both dies by Tim Holtz. This one is called the Paper Cut Bird. And I guess it goes this way. This is gorgeous. It really is. I had to have it. It's a very intricate die, as you can see, and this is what you get when you cut it. Now, I just cut this out on white cardstock, but it is really, really nice. It's almost got a lacy-like finish to it. This is what I used in that art journal. Let me go back to it, to this page, and I thought it would work as a stencil. And it didn't. You can sort of see it now, but this is how I'm going to fix it. I'm going to, I don't know, put some kind of neutral color on this, and I'm going to fit it on it. It's very awkward for me to try to fit it on here now, but I'm going to put it over top as an overlay. I'm going to change the color of it. I don't know what color I'm going to use yet. And I'm going to put that down. So you'll get the color that I was trying to use coming up underneath it, but at the same time you'll be able to see the shape. And I think I can sort of make it meld into the page already. So that's how I'm going to correct that page. Alright, so that was the Tim Holtz paper cut bird. The other one that I got is the lantern. This is one of the, what do they call them, Biggs dies. So this die is one of those ones that's the steel rule. I'm getting this glare on this, so I'm trying to tilt it so you can see it a little better. So it makes these little lanterns. Now, I'll admit this was sort of an impulse buy when I saw them at CHA, because I don't know what I'm really going to do with them. But here, I did a quick one yesterday. That's cute. And I did it out of fairly heavy cardstock, but they fold very neatly. Score lines are already on the die, and you know, you could put in a little piece of frosted acetate or something in there. Tim Holtz has some stuff that are frosted, you know, to cover that up. You can't put something like a candle in it. You could put, though, an electric tea light. And, you know, these might, you know, make several of these. These might make a nice table arrangement. You could put little flowers on it, maybe a little bird. I could probably do a mixed media piece with those, and that's what I am going to try eventually. I'm also thinking of using them as little place settings at a table. In fact, coming up this weekend, it's Mother's Day, and I'm thinking of having my family over here for dinner, and maybe I will. Maybe I'll make a bunch of these. Maybe inside I'll fill them with, maybe I could put some jelly beans in them, or put little dried, like, flowers, you know, all in it, filling it up, and put their names on them and put them by their place setting. We'll see. It's a busy week this week. I may not get to that. But anyways, if you're doing something for a party, wedding, something like that, then this might be something you would like. Okay? Otherwise, once I've played with that, it's probably going to sit in my stash of things and I'll forget all about it. That's just me, okay? But I had this on order before I did the big cleanup and start to change my philosophy about buying stuff. Okay, so those were new things. Okay, what's been happening in this past week? All right, past week we had RMG Friday on Friday night. We have so many new pieces of art, new installations in the art gallery, and we had the artists there, and I got to tell you this. You know that I give tours. I do nutshell tours on RMG Fridays. Usually I tour kids, school kids around during the week. So, brand new installation. I'd only seen it on Monday. This is Friday now. I don't know much about the artists. I was trying to read up on them, but they're all pretty new artists too, so there's not a lot out there about them. So I do this nutshell tour. And I have all these people together, and I want to start off by talking about abstract art, because that's what it was all about. And I said, you know, a lot of people think that abstract art is very easy, that you just take a handful of paint in this hand, a handful of something in this, and you just throw it and slap it and muck it about, and you've got art. And I said, that is really not as easy as it sounds. When I'm saying that, standing over in a corner is one of the artists. She does exactly that to make her art. We have her art on display. I know she does that, but she does it. What I was trying to make the point of is that that's maybe how a lot of people think about abstract art, but abstract art is a whole lot more, and it's a whole lot more complicated. But the way it was coming out of my mouth, and then So to make things worse, I point her out and go, oh, there's Jillian over there. And she's one of those types of artists that throw things against the wall. I meant that as a compliment. So I immediately got them over by her art, and I got her to talk about her process. And lo and behold, that is her process. She literally throws pigment onto what she has smeared all over her big canvases with whatever medium she is using. Yeah. So, there's what do they call it? Art imitating life, or life imitating art. I don't know. Right there in that little faux pas that I made when I'm talking to people. Well, needless to say, I was on tender tootsies for the rest of the evening, and I'm looking everywhere when I'm talking about the art to make sure the artist isn't in the group, because I didn't want to say something that was incorrect or could be taken the wrong way about the artist's talent or whatever. That's the life of a museum tour guide, okay, or art gallery tour guide. All right, I've already told you about the class at Crop. And my art journal class the next day, and you know that I give these classes, so I'm going to insert right here just a short little clip of my class as it happened on Sunday, yesterday. Okay, so I thought I'd share with you what I'm doing this weekend, and this is my art journaling class number 9, and today we're doing a montage with things, and these are some of my regulars who come out on the first Sunday of every month, and we play in our art journals and usually come up with a lot of interesting stuff, but you can't make any mistakes, as I always tell them, because it's all about the process, and a mistake, nope, it's just an opportunity for an embellishment.
Only variations.
Only variations, that's right. Okay, so that's what one of my classes sort of looks like. We just have fun. All right, so what's coming up? Well, this weekend, nothing really planned except Sunday is Mother's Day. And so I guess I'm going to see if my sister's available. She's a mother too. And have her and her husband and any of her kids, she has 2, whether any of them are around or not. I think Sarah, my niece, she's just moved out on her own. In the neighborhood sort of a thing, but in a house with a bunch of friends. And my nephew, not Harrison, that's another nephew, my nephew William, he's going to university in Ottawa, and he's living there for the summer as well. So I don't know if he'll be down for Mother's Day or not. But anyways, them and my mother, and we'll just do a family dinner kind of a thing for Mother's Day. So, final notes. Well, if you are one of Barb Owen's regular subscribers, and you have heard Barb mention me in some of her videos as well, and you're a new subscriber to me because of that, welcome. I love Barb Owen. I think she's great, and I want to put a shout out to her and to her subscribers for coming in and checking me out as well, and I hope I don't disappoint. Barb did say she thought that I was, she didn't know whether I was being serious or humorous when I did my What's Pissing Me Off segment. I wrote back to her and told her I'm serious about being humorous. Whatever. So, I hope you have a great weekend. Happy Mother's Day to those of you that are mothers, and I'll see you next Monday. Bye-bye.